Welcome to the Great Loop Aboard the Perch. I'm Kim Russo, the director of America's Great Loop Cruisers Association, and today we're continuing on the Illinois River, going from Ottawa to Peoria. We were tied up at Heritage Harbor Marina. This is an AGLCA sponsor, and Jeremy, the dock master there, gives a great briefing. So with my notes from the briefing in hand, we headed out onto the Illinois River. Beautiful morning. You can see from the video there, just one of those still mornings on their waterway, where everything reflects from the water surface, and just truly beautiful as the sun was rising. We would only have one lock to go through today, and as we headed for Peoria, we knew that the water was low, and that's going to be the story for a good bit of these sections of the rivers. The water's low, making some of the marinas and some of the anchorages harder to get into, so we knew Peoria was going to be a little bit challenging for some looper boats. We arrived at our first and only lock for the day. It was the Starved Rock Lock. We didn't really have a wait here, which was nice. We had had substantial waits at a few other locks, but we were in and out of Starved Rock pretty quickly, and we continued to work our way down the Illinois River. So the low water took several of the marinas in Peoria off the table for the perch. We draw about 3 feet 10 inches, so we round to 4. And there were some marinas we knew we couldn't get into, so we are planning to go to the Illinois Valley Yacht Club, or also known as the Ivy Club, which is an AGLCA sponsor. Other loopers would be tying up at the Peoria Town Wall, which is a free wall in Peoria, and a few other marinas. On the way to Peoria, there is another AGLCA sponsor called Henry Harbor, and this one is recommended. The only reason we didn't stop there is it would have made a very short day, and the next day would have been very long for us to continue what our planned course was. But as we approach Henry Harbor, we had been told that with our draft we couldn't get in there. But when we called and checked that out with the folks at Henry Harbor, they told us about their old lock wall. And it's one of the original locks on the Illinois waterway before the current set of locks was built. But the remainder of the lock wall is there. And that's what they use as their transient dock. So it's protected because it's an old lock, but it is also deeper because it's out on the river, and it's a really interesting thing to see as you're passing by. So here's some video of that. The wall, of course, is a bit rough, so you want to have some fenders out, but they have turned this into a great place for transients to tie up. And Henry Harbor is under fairly new ownership, and they joined us as sponsors of AGLCA. They're really working hard to make this a really great stop. You can see some looper boats there inside what was the old lock. So check out Henry Harbor on your way through. We continued on towards Ivy Club, and it was just a pretty quiet day on the river. We'd been traveling with a lot of boats. On this particular day, there weren't a whole lot with us. Everyone kind of had a different stop in the Peoria area in mind. Ivy Club was having a lobster and filet mignon dinner that night, so we were kind of excited to support a sponsor and get there for that. But just beautiful waters through here. The water at Ivy Club was also a little bit low. We knew we could get in, but we did not want to be kind of drifting around in the marina while we were waiting for the fuel dock. We knew we would be staying on the fuel dock. There were people at the fuel dock, and we needed to take on fuel. So we kind of circled around a little bit outside the harbor, as you can see from the video, while we waited for that spot to be clear. Came in, tied up, and all was well. The Ivy Club is a lovely facility. The members are absolutely some of the friendliest people you can imagine, really welcoming to loopers who are coming through and tying up with them. So we thank them for their hospitality. We'll be continuing the next day, getting into kind of a little bit even more rural area, so we'll be headed to tie up to a barge for the night on our next travel day, so don't miss that video. But in the meantime, here is our Nebo log for the day, underway for just under 8 hours, a total distance of about 65 nautical miles. We averaged 8 nautical miles per hour today because there weren't too many delays at locks or anything like that. Maximum speed for the day was just under 20 knots, so we did blow the engines out for a little bit there in a safe spot on the river. So that is leg 65. Thank you for watching.